Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, what do you guys think the connection is between values and legacy? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to Brave Storytime. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we have a mission to help you experience what's possible. In our Brave Storytime session, I'm joined by one of our authors from an expert book collaboration that we've published. And today, I'm thrilled to have Jennifer Regular here. Welcome, Jennifer. How you doing?
Oh, thank you, Laura. I am doing fantastic. I'm so excited for this book and everyone that's been reading it and all the feedback we've gotten so far. It's been pretty exciting.
It's a beautiful book, you guys. I'm going to shout out lead author Camille Miller, who was the leader of this book. And she had a big mission with this book on legacy, which I love, love, love. So let me tell you about Jennifer. As the founder of Lighting the Path, Jennifer Regular guides visionary leaders to create lasting impact through intentional, authentic leadership that aligns and activates their true passion. So you guys settle in and get ready for this beautiful read of Jennifer's chapter. This is chapter 5, and it's called Leading with Passion, Lighting the Path to Profound Impact and Collective Transformation. So, Jennifer, it is all you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, leading with passion. And this is my story. From serial killers to serial entrepreneurs. Talk about trying to find your ideal client. These groups seem to have nothing in common, yet in both cases, there's an underlying force, a burning desire that pushes them forward. One's about control, the other is about creating. Whether you're an organizational leader, business leader, or thought leader, you become one because you stand for something and want to create a movement. Your potency comes from devoting your life to what you're most passionate about and stirring others into action. But what happens when you lose that energy and enthusiasm and no longer feel that passionate drive? It can feel like your whole world is crumbling down, that there's no future in sight. Perhaps there's even a fear of moving forward. I understand this fear all too well because I lived it. My transformation was sparked by the dissolution of my marriage. This tumultuous period triggered a spiritual crisis that shook me to my core, leaving me grasping for a lifeline amidst chaos and uncertainty. It felt like I lost touch with my self identity, was no longer sure of who I was or what I wanted out of life. I can't do this anymore. Those were the final words after an explosive argument with my husband. And now, lying in bed, alone, staring blankly at the ceiling, I felt completely depleted, unable to move. Feeling drained often signals holding back your potential, neglecting your own needs, and expending energy to constantly shield yourself, things I often did during those years with him. I can't do this anymore. The whispered refrain echoed through the corridors of my mind, a lamentation born of weariness and despair. Yet, even in the depths of my darkest hour, there lingered a flicker of hope, a spark of resilience that refused to be extinguished. I felt a deep longing, like something was trying to wake up inside of me. Life, as I knew it, unraveled before my eyes. How did it come to this? Everything seemed like it had fallen into place, and now, with dreams shattered and hopes dashed, I found myself adrift in a sea of disillusionment. I reached a breaking point. Everything that once seemed solid and dependable has crumbled away. My life felt so full. I felt so alive. And now, the weight of emptiness bore down on me. suffocating any sense of vitality or purpose. Where did it all go? How could I have been so wrong when everything felt so right? Money, home, husband, business, pets, gone. Energy, passion, inspiration, enthusiasm, gone. Life as I knew it ceased to exist. In that moment of reckoning, I came to the stark realization that the path I traveled was no longer sustainable. I fell into a deep fog, FOG, fear, obligation, and guilt. Fear of putting myself out there, afraid my husband would find me and kill me as he vowed to do. I felt obligated to do my responsibilities and show up for work. I had guilt over not pursuing my entrepreneurial goals and breaking those promises to myself. This fog is oppressive, suffocating almost. I can't shake it off. It's like a heavy blanket smothering any sense of direction. How can I move forward when I can barely see what's right in front of me? The future felt distant, unreachable. Losing sight of it felt like losing a piece of myself, as if it was my very essence that was obscured by feelings that numbed me. I jolted up in bed. This isn't the way I want it to go. Even though my life felt like it was over, this was not how I wanted it to end. It was a wake up call. Ever have one of those? It's like a sharp slap to the senses that shatters the fragile veil of complacency. It's the moment when the world around you seems to shift, when a force beyond your control disrupts the familiar rhythms of your life. For me, it was like a surge of adrenaline coursing through my veins, electrifying every nerve ending and sending me into an upright position. It's time to rise. My innermost being stirred with a profound calling and ignited a flame of renewed passion. This awakening breathed new life into the very essence of what passion means. I uncovered a profound truth. Within the word passion lies a directive: pass I on. That I is your soul's expression of what you are here to pass on in this lifetime. It's more than a feeling, it's a calling. It's a message I'm compelled to share with others awakening from shattered dreams, driven to fulfill their desired purpose. Yet, before I embarked on spreading this wisdom, there was a journey of healing awaiting me. To be myself, I had to first recover myself. Reclaiming my vitality became paramount. It was a process of healing and renewal, of shedding the layers of doubt and uncertainty that had accumulated over the years. In the end, it's not the challenges we encounter that define us, but our response to them. A legacy of courage, determination, and unwavering resolve. What I noticed about serial entrepreneurs is that they're multi-passionate and immediately act on their inspired ideas of how they're going to change the world. I was like that too, full of vigor and enthusiasm, wanting to make a meaningful difference. So, what happened? All too often, people operate from fear or obligation rather than how they want to lead their lives. As many have quoted, when you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. This erodes your confidence and creates self-doubt. And you certainly don't want to be on your deathbed, regretting that you didn't live out your unique purpose. What Bronnie Ware discovered and shared in her book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, was that the number one thing the dying person said was, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected of me. This is why it's imperative to operate from passion rather than obligation. we're reaching a new level of human potential that allows us to take flight on our deeply held and perhaps even suppressed passions and dreams. We're becoming more conscious of our need to transform our lives that no longer fit with how the world is changing or even how we once viewed ourselves. At some point, you realize it's not about you anymore. It's about what you are leaving with all those left behind. It's also about who you can impact and reach now to be a living legacy. For an impact-driven entrepreneur, it's easy to get ahead of ourselves and want to do everything all at once. Well, productivity expert David Allen says you can do anything, but you can't do everything. I'm guessing as a visionary leader, you certainly tried. I often see how energized clients feel by opportunities to lead, mentor, or guide others toward positive change, and how alive they become when they get to express themselves creatively or spiritually through public speaking, teaching, or even performing. When they live in alignment, you notice and feel their presence and become inspired and uplifted. And that's because their energy and passion create the greatest impact. Leading with passion means integrating a higher consciousness model of living and meaningfully engaging with others. Devoting your life to what you're most passionate about lights the path to profound impact and collective transformation. Throughout my journey of spiritual growth and healing, I unearthed memories of my earliest inklings of insight. At the tender age of 10, nestled in the bustling city of Toronto, Ontario, with its vast population swirling around me, I jotted down notes on the very subtle workings of society. Even then, I marveled at how our collective environment shapes our destinies. It's remarkable how objects from our past can carry such profound hidden meanings. For over 30 years, two wall hangings from my mother quietly held sway over my subconscious. One is a poem by Emily Matthews called Believe, and the other is Follow Your Dream by Amanda Bradley. Their influence was only revealed to me much later in life. I was ensnared in the narrative of being an unintended burden, born at a time when my mother believed her childbearing days were behind her. It took me years to unravel the true purpose of my existence, to understand that innate desire within me for everyone to find their sense of purpose, to recognize that each of us is uniquely destined for this world, not to blend in, but rather to stand out, to believe and follow your dream. For those seeking to leave behind a lasting legacy, suppressing your potential and neglecting personal needs drains the vital energy that could be channeled into crafting a meaningful impact on this planet. In pursuit of clarity about what to do next, I embarked on a journey, traveling, departing from my primary career, closing my business, and embracing a sabbatical. Looking back, I recognize how I inadvertently distanced myself, becoming disconnected from the essence of my being by trying to find myself out there. And it wasn't about traveling out into the external world. I had to travel deeper within and rediscover my deepest longings. It helped me align with my core values. Rooted in the core of my being are three guiding principles: autonomy, integrity, and spirituality. A remarkable transformation unfolds as I reclaim my autonomy and nurture my spirit. What once seemed unimaginable becomes my reality. A life lived authentically in alignment with my truth. As I continue on this purpose-driven path, I stand firmly anchored by the strength of my convictions. Each day, I'm reminded of the words of Gary Keller. It is through purpose that we find the power to persevere, and it is through collective action that we create profound impact and lasting change. There is no longer this need for self-pity. It's not about me anymore. It's about all those whose lives I still wanted to make a difference in, to be living my passion and purpose with no regrets. In hindsight, I wasn't living in the right conditions for my best future to blossom. I decided not to give in to the fear of being seen and heard publicly. The threat of my husband finding me didn't compare to the threat of never being able to live out my soul's mission. I no longer give my power over to circumstances and lower authorities. Instead, I'm driven by purpose and trust that this is my destiny. Truth is my protection. As my business evolves through lighting the path, I recognize it's the vehicle that fulfills my purpose. I'm now nestled in a vast global network that continually inspires, empowers, and uplifts one another toward collective transformation, something that would never have happened if I had succumbed to my husband's threat. Many of those individuals joined me in the Wake Up and Change the World Global Summit, an inspired call to action, uniting light leaders and visionary entrepreneurs to share their wisdom and transmissions. Together, each was able to amplify their message and illuminate their unique purpose. It's not just about our individual missions anymore. There's a deep call to a collective movement toward global transformation. And as I lead with passion, I light the path to profound impact, feeling the undeniable swell of momentum propelling me forward. I stand firmer, anchored in a newfound sense of steadiness and security. Balance, I realize, comes from living your truth. Do you remember when we explored the essence of passion, breaking it down to its core? It was a moment of profound clarity, a revelation that continues to shape my journey, unfolding new layers of meaning with each passing day. I am finally living authentically, in alignment with my truth, embracing this place of integrity, reclaiming my autonomy, and nurturing my spirit have all converged to guide me toward living my true passion. And here's the lesson. By leading with passion and unwavering commitment, you leave a legacy of profound impact. Staying aligned with your mission is paramount. It's about embracing who you are, what you stand for, and how you wish to lead your life. Embracing authenticity and living in alignment with your value puts you in a position of leadership. When you step into the potency of that I that you're here to pass on in this lifetime, you'll evolve as a living legacy of vision, purpose, and true passion. Your purpose-driven nature has been evident since a young age, and it fuels your desire to make a meaningful impact in this world. Allow your soul's expression and focus on passing on the wisdom and inspiration that flows through you. Take action when inspiration strikes. Protect your energy and prioritize self-care to avoid spreading yourself too thin and diminishing your potency. Embrace your role as a visionary leader, deeply connected to a higher purpose. Your ability to embody your fullest potential and guide others from darkness to light is your greatest strength. Lead with clarity of vision and inspire others to rally around ideas that usher positive change and transformation. As a leader, fostering a sense of community and collaboration is vital. Create spaces where people can come together to support each other, share ideas, and work towards collective growth and success. Your empathic and insightful nature allows you to understand and guide others effectively. You're a powerful force, facilitating personal and collective transformation. Create a ripple effect of positive change in the world with these 5 principles. Number 1, define your values and mission. Before embarking on any journey, it's essential to know your destination. Take the time to introspect and identify your core values and beliefs. Define your personal mission, the essence of who you are, and the legacy that you wish to leave behind. Understand your deepest longings and aspirations and align your actions with your inner calling. Number 2, live authentically. Authenticity is the cornerstone of a purposeful life. Commit to living in alignment with your values and mission, even in the face of challenges or societal expectations. Stay true to yourself, maintain integrity, and avoid compromising your principles for external validation. Embrace your uniqueness and let your true essence shine in everything you do. Remember, pass I on. And number 3, harness passion and purpose. Passion and purpose are the driving forces behind meaningful action. Cultivate a deep sense of passion for what truly lights you up and brings you joy. Let your passion guide your decisions and actions, leading you toward your purpose. Embrace inspired action over obligation and focus on making a positive impact in the world by fully living your purpose. And here's number 4, embody your soul's calling. Your soul's calling is the unique expression of who you are meant to be in this world. Embrace your calling with unwavering dedication and commitment. Allow your full potential to emerge by freeing yourself from emotional attachments, guilt, or feelings of unworthiness. Tune in to the energy of your business or endeavors, understanding their purpose and who they are meant to serve. Sustain your energy and passion. That's number 5. Sustaining your energy and passion is essential for staying aligned with your mission. Engage in empowering practices that nurture your spirit and fuel your passion. Create spaces for inspiration, connection, and self-reflection. Prioritize activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, and avoid spreading yourself too thin. Remember, your energy and passion are the driving forces behind your impact and influence. So in conclusion, living your mission requires a deep commitment to authenticity, passion, and purpose. By defining your values, embracing your uniqueness, and aligning your action with your soul's calling, you'll create a life of meaning, fulfillment, and impact. Stay true to yourself, follow your heart, and let your light shine brightly as your life becomes a living legacy.
Yay!
Yeah.
You get some snaps and claps for that read. Thank you so much. What a treat it is to sit here. And I was just following along in the book, you guys, as she was reading. And it's just a gift to hear the author's words spoken out loud. So thank you, Jennifer. Just reminding you guys, this chapter is in The Ultimate Guide to Leaving Your Legacy. 22 powerful lessons on leading as a soul professional. And Jennifer just read her chapter 5 called Leading with Passion. All right, I'm going to give a couple of bullet point standouts for me. Deep fog. I love what you did with that.
Mm.
Fear, obligation, and guilt. I think the thing I love about that the most is like that is the fog. Like as soon as you're gripped by one of those things, things are starting to feel confusing. So it's for me, it's like it's a signal. Like if I'm
Mhm.
feeling that feeling, then I know, all right, this is where you're at. But I loved how you did that with the deep fog. And when you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. That line stood out to me. I'm like, oh yeah. So you guys stand for something. Like, what do you stand for? And Jennifer, it's okay not to know, right? Like, what do you want to
Oh,
tell people
yeah.
about that? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's okay not to know. And it's more exciting when you don't know because then you open up to what's possible and more self-discovery and finding what really lights you up and where people really respond to you in your message. And really, like I mentioned, it's about your energy and passion, truly. It's not so much about what you do. In fact, Maya Angelou talked about that too. It's one of her famous quotes. People forget what you say and do, but they'll always remember how you make them feel.
Yeah, I love that
So
quote
what you
too.
stand for aligns with that and what you value and how you radiate your energy and passion.
As you were talking about some of your values in the chapter, I was writing some notes about mine, always trying to hone in and make it really simple for myself. I
Mhm.
loved be a living legacy, that line. And I kind of put something on top of it. It's like forget about leaving your legacy later, like when you're
Mhm.
gone. Be
Mhm.
a living legacy, you guys. Like
Mhm.
now, right now is the time. This is what matters right in this moment. I love that, Jennifer. um, Comment a little bit on trying to find yourself out there. I think we
Mhm.
are all guilty of this.
Oh
What's the
yeah.
most important thing you want people to know about that?
That is not out there. You're right here.
Yes.
You're right here. And yet we
Like
overlook
ever.
we overlook ourselves. Yeah, we discover more when we are traveling, when we're interacting with people for sure, and we have exposure to different experiences, and we discover more about ourselves. There's things that can be activated in our travels. I know as I was traveling for sure, there was activations that happen and teachings, and I'm definitely a wanderer. I'm an explorer. I'm moving all the time. I'm a digital nomad. So, that's there, but I take myself wherever I go. I stand strongly in who I am and what I value, and even my morning routine. There's some stability there still as we expand into greater opportunities and experiences. But finding ourselves always comes back to what's reflected and what we receive as information from our inner wisdom, our soul's calling, our connection to the divine source, which is us too, which is who we are. And sometimes we need to project that out onto others and family and friends and coaches and colleagues and therapists and our higher power to project that out and call in those answers. And it's also about having faith, which is another acronym for finding answers in the heart. And that's where it is. And sometimes we need to go out to open our heart to find out what lights us up and what gets reflected back to us. But it can also be really chaotic and confusing if we rely on that information. So always go back to the source, which is you. You are the most important resource for yourself and for others. So you resource your own energy and passion and with your own innate wisdom. So it's always coming back to yourself and recognizing what your source of power is. Don't make it something external, make it drawn from the internal.
So you had a line that said you said truth is my protection. Would you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, truth is my protection. No matter what people say or do, they actually have no influence over you and your life. And yeah, I know this is a lot for the mind to grasp, right? It's a lot to wrap the head around. And yet there's a resonance deep inside that you already know this, right? That you are your power, your source of power, which we just spoke about a minute ago. And so your truth, your authenticity, your uniqueness, that's you. That's who you are. That is your truth. And that is what protects you because no one can touch that. No one can be you. No one can actually hurt you without your consent. You get to choose what you allow and not allow into your life. You get to choose how the life that you lead and live it. And I know there's going to be a lot of resistance to people hearing that because there's ways that they've been living where that hasn't been true. But your truth is your protection. And when you really contemplate that and really deepen your understanding of what that means and embody that, then you'll see how it connects to your authenticity, your integrity, and your ability to lead your life.
There's so much inspiration in your chapter. Thank you again for giving me the gift of being able to hear it again today and read it again.
Thank you.
I think that you're going to spark a lot of awareness. And I really think everything is about that awareness. With awareness, we have a choice, you guys. So when you read this chapter, listen to this chapter, pay attention to what makes you sit up and lean in a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
and write those notes down, right? Like that's what I was doing while Jennifer was reading. So tell us all the stuff that you have going on aside from this chapter in the book. How do people work with you? What do you have going on?
Yeah, founder of Lighting the Path. So I'm lighting the path in a multitude of ways. And my newest expression of that is the Leadership Ascension Alliance. I'm really excited about this. This is for anyone who's like really shifting out of the career or corporate life into their calling. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you're coming out of your career to do your calling. It's looking at the career as your calling, coming at it from a different approach, a different a way of being in that role where you actually connect with people soul to soul that's aligned with your true passion that you're here to pass on in this lifetime. So these are people that are wanting to now live this way. There's a huge awakening around this. And a lot of people really wanting that something more to lead into truly making an impact and a difference in people's lives. So this Leadership Ascension Alliance where I get to gather these people that are wanting to do that, to follow their heart, their calling, that something more. The visionaries, the change makers are in there too. And we're looking at your actual sacred leadership archetype. I created this whole assessment where you actually discover what that is. Because as I mentioned in the chapter, people tend to be multi-passionate, try a lot of different things, but there's some key traits and challenges and leadership impact that's evident. And we bring that out, and that's the eye that we're here to pass on. So we really develop that in the Leadership Ascension Alliance. There's a lot of support, trainings, and workshops that's within that. So I'd love for people to check that out. You'll find it on my website, which is lightingthepath.ca. There's also the podcast Awaken and Ascend on YouTube. I have amazing guests from all around the world that are what I call messengers, sharing their story, their lessons, and what they can offer you as well. So there's really a wonderful resource for free, just going to that YouTube channel and subscribing to Awaken and Ascend. And then there's the retreats and workshops that I offer quite often. In fact, there's one tomorrow on being in your element and others that are coming up. And it's all about enlightened wellness, where we've been prioritizing productivity and performance for so long, even though we say we want health and well-being. And this is a chance to flip that switch and really focus more on the health and well-being so that we can perform and produce what we really came here to do. And be the person that we came here to be in that. So the retreats and workshops really focus on that. So all of this, including my inspired living blog, is on my website, lightingthepath.ca.
Awesome. All right, you guys, we'll have you hooked up down below for that link, and you can find everything that Jennifer is talking about today. You'll get information about all of these different things that she's doing in the world. Go explore, you guys. Like, my expert authors are badasses. Like, they're doing some world changing work in the world. I'm so grateful to you,
Yeah.
Jennifer, and all of the authors in this particular book about legacy. Again, Camille for leading it. What's a last message you want to leave everyone with? And, people just maybe kind of dipping a toe in, taking a step on this journey. What do you
Mm-hmm.
want them to know today?
I feel like there's something coming through that's really, really important right now that it almost brings me to tears because there's so many amazing people out there that don't realize that. And I want you to know that you are meant for this world. You are meant for this world.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a really good message. Thank you for that. I felt that in
Mhm.
my heart.
Mhm.
Jennifer, thank you so much for what you do in the world. And thank you for being here today on the Brave Story Time.
Huge honor, Laura. Thank you so much. And to all of the co-authors from this book, it's amazing to be on the pages with you all. So thank you. And thank you for Camille Leader for leading the journey for us. Yeah.
So, to all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the Brave Story Time. And we've got others on the YouTube channel. I hope you'll check them out. Lastly, today, you guys, remember, your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So, it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.